In this video, I want to turn the key on the CB750. Well, technically now it's a CB900. If you've seen my engine rebuild video, we replaced everything we possibly could. This engine is now brand new. All the parts came from Wimoto Australia. There's a few things I need to do, like the wiring and also make a battery box. This is just the mud map for the wiring that you need to use for the Motor Gadget Mo unit, and this is just to get the bike started. There's a few more wires that need to be added for the control switches and stuff, but this is just the basics. I'll share this with you a little bit later in the video, but stick around because we have an epic giveaway running at the moment and I'm going to tell you exactly how to answer it, so let's get into it. The first step was working out where I wanted all the electrical components to be mounted inside the electrics tray, like the Motor Gadget Mo unit, the battery and the starter solenoid, for example. So this wiring harness had been hacked up pretty badly by the previous owner and there was no choice but to replace it, and I had planned on doing that anyway. And I was even missing a bracket that holds on the coil, so I'll have to fabricate one of those as well. The largest item that will be in here will be the battery, and so therefore I want to make a home for that first and then work all the componentry out around that. So let's get a battery box made. And for anyone who doesn't know, if you're trying to cut aluminium with a grinder, you can do it with standard steel discs. You just have to make sure you use this wax and it goes through it like butter. And speaking of aluminium, we have this brand new product that we've just released, which is the tail tidy for your number plate. They fit Australian number plates perfectly with spots to put your turn signals on both sides. We have them in aluminium as well as stainless steel. So go and check those out on the website. I wanted to give some context on this particular battery that I'm using in this build. This is a lead acid battery. It's a non-spillable. I contacted the supply company that I get these from and they said you can mount them on the side. In some cases on OEM bikes, they are actually on their side, so it shouldn't be a problem. I prefer to go the lead acid than the lithium because these are just bulletproof. And the mounting is going to be pretty much like this. And it gives me a little bit of room to elevate it and have the wires go underneath it. So I started with this little battery tray, which I've got to weld up the corners on, and it fits this battery perfectly, and it was going to be mounted just like this, giving me the ability to put those wires up underneath it, and it can trace from the Mo unit all the way through to wherever it needs to go. And then I went ahead and made this little bracket here. It's not quite finished yet. I've still got to do some welding here and put some sides on it, but these little tabs here that are hanging out are going to be the location points for the rubber strap to keep the battery secured. It's just going to sit down like that and then allow the wires to trace under it. I was planning to use this tray with the bottom bracket and then bolt it on, but I don't think I really need to do that. Once I build sides on this bottom tray, I don't think I need this one. So we're gonna make it obsolete. As you can see, once the battery goes on, we've got a bit of room on top, a little bit of a gap for the seat base to go on, and it should work really well. I'm eventually gonna have all these parts powder coated, so it's always a good idea to run some 120 grit sandpaper over everything. I want to take this opportunity to tell you about this incredible giveaway we have running at the moment. What if I said to you I wanted to contribute $3,000 to your bike? Yes, we're giving away $3,000 worth of high quality products. And that's more money in products than I've ever spent on purchasing an entire project bike itself. This is by far the biggest giveaway I've ever done, and it's out of my own pocket. So if you want to get yourself in the draw, all you have to do is go over to the website, spend $5 will get you an entry, or grab yourself something cool like one of these tees or hoodies. We have a bunch of merch to choose from. We'll be announcing the winner in just a couple of weeks, so the 7th of June 2025, and we haven't had that many entries, so the odds of winning are seriously high. So head over to the website, spend just $5 or grab yourself a really cool tee or hoodie and get yourself in the running to win. So let's get back to that battery box so we can turn the key on this bad boy and see what happens. I really love these little drill tap sets. I use them all the time. These ones came from Hare & Forbes, and it just saves you some time so you can drill the hole and tap it all in one go. And now that the battery is nice and secure, let's get stuck into the wiring. When it comes to wiring a motorcycle, it can get quite overwhelming, and that's why I really like to use the Motor Gadget Mo unit and recommend it, because it just simplifies the process, getting rid of fuse boxes and all sorts of stuff. And always start from the battery and work your way through one wire at a time. I highly recommend grabbing yourself a workshop manual or at least a wiring diagram for your bike so that you can trace back each colored wire to the component that it's attached to, and that'll help you immensely. And although this isn't a video on how to wire your motorcycle step by step, I have actually done one using this exact mud map. I'll leave it at the end of this video. And if you follow this with the Motor Gadget to the T, you'll be able to turn the key and have your bike firing up. A couple of really good tips for you if you're going to do your own wiring is the first one is temporarily run the wiring to where you need it to be. Use solid connectors rather than twisting the wires together and putting electrical tape on it. Just use these household earth terminal connectors, or even these Wago connectors, I think they're called. They're fantastic, the little orange and gray ones. They're super cheap, and you just push the wire in, snap them in place. And then I know, for example, this CDI unit here, I want to make sure that every single component has its own connector, so that if that component dies, I can disconnect it and replace it with another one. Now all I need to do, now that I've got all these run, is I just need to count how many of these there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is just on this one CDI unit. So now I know that I need a connector with 5 pins. And then I can just continue that process all the way through, making sure each wire that I cut is just a little bit longer than what it needs to be so that I have a bit of wiggle room. But if the wiring process is quite overwhelming for you, the best tip I can give you is just to work on one wire at a time. So as per my wiring diagram, the Motor Gadget Mo unit's connected, the battery is now live, the starter solenoid is all connected and wired in. I borrowed a Yamaha ignition barrel. I'm also using the Mo button from Motor Gadget and a momentary switch for the start button. I've replaced both coils with brand new ones from Wimoto Australia, also fabricated this little bracket here as you can see. I've mounted the original carburetors to this for now. I still need to build an exhaust and I'm waiting for some parts like an oil filter, but nonetheless we can still hear this thing wind over, and that is one step closer to getting this bike finished. I've double checked all of my wiring to make sure everything is where it needs to be and there's nothing left to do but to turn the key and press the start button and see what happens. So good. Yes. If you've enjoyed this video, I've got heaps more just like this one. Go and check them out, and also don't forget to enter the competition, grab yourself something cool and get in the running to win that epic prize.